I think it'd be interesting to see as well, Philip, how Arsenal respond to their first defeat of the season, because that could define the season in its entirety. So they've got a Europa League match. They're up against Zurich. Then they've got the Arteta derby because they're playing Everton. Then it's your former side, PSV. That's at the Emirates. Then Brentford, Tottenham, another Europa League encounter, and then Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a big schedule, but for me, the most important game for them will be in the league.
League
so
matches.
How the reaction... Well, of course, the European matches are important, but because you're in a group stage, it's different in the European games. So the reaction you want to see from Arsenal is in the neck.
Against Everton?
Yeah, next Premier League game against Everton. So they lose a game, that can happen against Manchester United, but what will be the reaction against Everton? So if they get a win, everybody would say, still heading in the right direction, cool. Solid team, strong.
Yeah. I think we're always, or we have to be careful on isolating games. You know, 6 games played, they're top of the league, Arsenal. So, you know, if they'd won today but lost one of the earlier games, then actually they would still be top of the league, wouldn't they? So I think we have to be careful in isolating games out. You know, I know it's pretty damn boring, but that's how I tend to be. Ultimately, you judge a team at the end of the season.
You do.
That's, you know, but hang on, we're trying to make some really tough judgments on a team on one game of 6 that they've played so far.
But I'm also trying to extrapolate based on what we've seen from them before. When they have one defeat, sometimes we see Arsenal get knocked back in terms of confidence, and then they stumble for 2-3 games.
Don't we see that with all teams?
We do, but to catastrophic effect. For Arsenal last year, Tottenham, they lost to them, and then that Newcastle game happened, and then suddenly they lost the top 4. They couldn't get Champions League football. But it just seems with Arsenal it happens more in a more high-profile manner than with other sides.
But it's important to the mental state of the team. So they were in a great moment today before the kickoff, top of the table, young team, everybody feels great. A lot of energy in the team and confidence. Now they get a loss, so there's a little bit more pressure on the next game to get the result. So what will happen in the next game?
Well, what would you do? Because going back to the first season you were the head coach of PSV, you had a lot of youngsters and it was a very transitional side. At one point you even slipped to, what, 10th in the league?
Yeah, something like 9th, 10th. We lost, or we didn't win for maybe 7 games. And we had a very young squad.
The likes of Memphis were there and at the stage. And
but the pressure in Holland for a big team like PSV, if you lose 2 games, there's a lot of pressure. But also in the media, social media for players, criticism, they're not used to. So how you cope as a young guy with everything that happens, it will affect your performance. So to turn it around, when everything goes well, the team plays good football, it's much easier to put in a good performance. If you don't have the experience, you have to learn it. You have to cope with it. So we had to talk a lot with the players, with the team, and that year was an important development part for the squad for next season. And then it didn't happen, and we won the league. Now Arsenal is quite a young team. So what do the experienced players do? What will the manager do? And will they succeed in getting a win the next game? If they do, I think they still can continue in a positive way.
As the manager for yourself, what was the most important thing for you to do in your role as the man in charge of all these youngsters, the whole club?
For the youngsters to try to get the pressure off so they can focus on their own game of football, that they don't think too much. You can put more responsibility on some older players. If I have Brian Rees or Ji-sung Park, they know it all. So they can handle the pressure, but not a young boy of 19 or 18. Sometimes they want to take the responsibility, but I don't want them to. So that's finding the right balance, protecting the players in the media, the conversations with the president of the club, the technical director, the board, so to be prepared that they know what could happen with a young squad. So within the club, I think, of course, you want to push yourself to better results. we're in the game to win. But the direction we had it, yeah, we knew some bumps could come on our way, and we have to overcome them. And everybody kept calm. The players got better and better, and yeah, well, the success came one season later, and the season after that we became champion as well.
Trust the process.
I think, though, with this Arsenal team, and more so about the performance today, they won't come away from it demoralised.
No.
Other than it'll hurt that they lost the game. There'll be also questions like, how did we lose this game today? And I think Arteta's message will be, there'll be a case of how well they did do, how much they dominated. There were parts, of course, they need to work on. I'm sure he'll show a lot of really good positive stuff to this game. Plus, he'll show the moments where they made, key moments where they made mistakes that cost them the game. But overall, the general feeling I think, for Arsenal would be a very positive one leaving Old Trafford.
All right.